think we're live. We're definitely live. Happy Sunday fun day, everyone. Welcome to our weekly live stream where Jeremy's still wearing a hat because he has no hair. He usually likes to start the live off with a song.
How about you sing tonight? You were raising your voice a whole lot earlier. Why not right now?
No. That's all you.
If you love that Otter Creek has a new mayor, type I love the new mayor. If you love that Otter Creek has a new mayor, type I love the new mayor.
Gotta love the new mayor.
If you love that Otter Creek has a new mayor, 'cause the old one, you were a hater. If you love that Otter Creek has a new mayor, type I love the new mayor.
The chat is going wild with I love the new mayor.
If you love what the hell's like what the hell's. If you love what the hell's like what the
Thank you, James.
If you love what the hell's and you love.
Thank you, Denny, for the 10.
Brand new Florida mulching trails from the tree shop in Florida. If you love what the hell's.
Thank you, Michelle.
Type what the hell's.
Chat's fine with love what the hell's and love the new mayor. Give it up for Jeremy.
Why you don't? So anyways, we've had quite an incredible
Stevie,
week.
Thank you for the $1.
In Otter Creek. What a week in Otter Creek.
Thank you, Tracy.
It's not as the world turns, it's the new week in Otter Creek. Wow. What'd you think about all of that, George?
10. It's been wild. Shane Cook just gifted 5 What the Hell's memberships. Thank you, Shane Cook.
You ready to go back to Otter Creek?
I know you are.
I didn't ask if I was. I said, are you ready to go back to Otter Creek?
Nah.
I heard Russell misses creeping on you.
It's premature.
I heard Russ the sus misses creeping
Carol
on
Hudson,
you.
thank you.
Don the con wants to con you. All right. So what a week in Otter
Thank you,
Creek.
Kathy, for the 5.
It has been absolutely mind-blowing with plot twist after plot twist
Very
after
much
plot
so.
twist.
Welcome,
And
John.
it's just beginning.
Thank you,
Literally just beginning.
Yeah. He is not corrupt. That's the line that I've been saying
that
all week.
Don would even suggest that he's not corrupt after all that's been shown. Let's just go to the fundamentals of the actual lawsuit. We'll go to the fundamentals of the lawsuit. All right. By Florida law and by all state laws, by Florida law, by sunshine law, that is what it's called in Florida, the sunshine law. In other words, it brings light to everything in your government.
Sally and Mary.
Everything, every text, every email, every document, everything is public information. And by such, it means it must be given to the public when the public asks for it. It doesn't mean if it was a document 100 years ago, or if it's a document that was just created, such as Turtle Lady's Turtle Lady Lynette.
Thank you.
Her little scribble on the pages of a ridiculous taking meeting notes.
Thank you, Deborah.
Which we have to get to that as well, because, oh my goodness, the aspect of her even worming her way in and under all of her linettes, worming her way in to the point of taking handwritten notes. What did Mary used to do? Nothing. She took the recording. She typed them up later. Obviously, those notes were not going to be used anyway, but she took them from the building. Susan. You can't take public property from the building.
Thank you, psychic.
Until they release it to you, if those were the actual public notes. Now, they could have copied them, and then she could have taken them. But what a ridiculous week in Otter Creek. So Don's stating that they were not corrupt, or Russell's not corrupt. Correct. So the whole aspect of the lawsuit, first one, you have to understand this is the first in the domino effect. That the very first one is all based on you legally must provide what I asked for. You can ask for the exact same thing. They legally must provide it. They have so many days to provide it. If they don't, they're against the law, therefore corrupt. Why won't they provide it? Well, number one, they probably don't have it. They're so dysfunctional.
Yeah, my best guess is they do not have it.
All right, number two, why won't they provide it? Because it will incriminate them, most likely. Number three, why won't they provide it? Well, none of them know how to get it. That's how incompetent they are. Don should have been yelling, he is not incompetent. Yeah, he is, and ignorant. And so that is the most polite and nicest way to put it, that he is incompetent, he is ignorant, and yes, they are corrupt. So why, number four, wouldn't they provide it? For their own personal gain. They don't want me to have it because if I have knowledge, I have power. And if I have power, they don't have power over me. I could care less about having power. I care about the right things being done the right way. So, for example, they've never, ever shared any of the documentation except one time when I went to pay my bill. Mary pulled out
Chris, for
the resolution that was adopted under the mayorship of Laura Mott, with Russ the Sus being the vice mayor and guiding her and telling her what to do because she had no clue. I mean, that's just the reality.
Thank you, Marilyn Reed.
Incompetent, ignorant as well. She did what Russell told her to do. And that resolution down the line will be challenged in court. She has been asked for all of this for 3 years. Prove to me that you have a resolution that states I have to pay $50 in water fees. Give me anything. I have all the emails. I have all the requests. This has been going on for 3 years. Typically, you have 20 to 30 days to honor a records request. They did nothing. Nothing. This time, because I publicly did it on camera and I publicly gave them the request by hand and they had it electronically via email, Attorney Worm, who is a worm, he responded, I am now in charge of this. And what did he do for them? Nothing. Nothing. As a matter of fact, to my understanding, via my lawyer, he is refusing to represent the town of Otter Creek via my lawyer. So we don't know if that's 100% true yet or not, but via my lawyer, when I met with him when I was there last week, he had told me that Attorney Worm is stepping out of the matter. Those were his exact words. Attorney Worm is stepping out of the matter. So what did Attorney Worm do for them? Further incriminate them, further cause liability for them. He did not provide the records request, and now he won't even represent them in court. Why? Because they're up a creek, an Otter Creek without a paddle. It's ridiculous. Not to mention, let me give you another reason. Number one, because it's illegal what they've done. He already knows it. So
welcome, Bonnie.
Why does he want to go to a case that's going to fail? Number two, he's not going to get paid. They can't afford to pay him through the litigation. So why would he go, yeah, I'll represent you, and then not get paid? Which I seriously doubt any bills and anything's been getting paid as it is anyway in Otter Creek.
So a lot of people were asking, thank you, Jordan, for the 5. If the attorney was the one who coordinated the emergency meeting,
which the attorney is the one that coordinated it.
Correct. Why wasn't he there?
That is a great question.
So
wasn't on laptop.
Wasn't on
there
laptop,
in person?
which is understandable if no one knew how to get in, but they could have called him and put him on speakerphone.
Well, we can guess that the laptop issue could be due to passwords, but I'm pretty sure they probably have figured that out by now. Geez, who knows what kind of incriminating stuff they're going to find on the computers and the passwords, and the computers and the laptops, which is all public information. And remember, the new leadership team has said, listen, this is going to be all about transparency. So I'm looking forward to them actually sharing with the people of Otter Creek what they find and what they know. Because right now, the people know nothing. Know nothing. They've been kept in the dark on everything. It's been a one-man show, which I don't even consider him a man, but it's been a one-person show. I guess I got to call him a person. I got to be nice. It's been a one Russ the Sus show, and nobody knows nothing. But Don wants to say he's not corrupt. By definition of not even providing the public documents, the law was broke. That's corruption.
Do you find it odd that he doesn't know what the term corrupt is?
I find it odd.
He kept saying, I find it odd. But
I've never used that term before.
I find it odd.
Oh my goodness.
So that was another one-liner that I was saying all week this week.
He is not corrupt.
Did he point his finger to the way Russ did when you...
I wish.
When you requested... you requested...
And all of a sudden, Russ the Sus, somebody finally must have talked some sense into Russ the Sus. He kept his mouth shut. Mm-hmm. But Don couldn't. Goodness.
The way Don handled it that night made Russ look perfectly normal.
Which we already know he's not. We already know he's caught with his hand in the cookie jar and scared to death of what's going to happen.
If you've been following all along, you'll know that Russ isn't sweet and innocent. But
I have a feeling that Mary is even more evil than Russ the Sus. I think it's all going to come out. I think it's all going to end up coming out. That Mary is a plotter and vindictive and against the people just as much as Russ the Sus was behind the scenes. And I still believe 100% that Don the Con has something is being hidden, not shared. The people don't know. I believe this wholeheartedly. I don't know what it is, but there is something with Don the Con that nobody knows yet that has to do with Russell and the town and what's going on. Thank you, Laura,
for the 5. Yeah, eventually in due time, things will definitely surface. And it's going to take time.
Light always brings to surface the truth. Mm-hmm. Darkness cannot withstand the light. And that place has been dark for many, many years. And unfortunately, you have other individuals such as our stalkers, Lynette and Septic Boy, who literally stalked us to Otter Creek, purchased property, professional beggars who then beg their way.
Sharon and Super, thank you so much.
Which is so funny, so ridiculously funny. So you have Lynette who begs her way somehow, some way, whether she went and talked to Don, whether Don talked to Russell, whether she went and talked to Russell, who knows? But she and Septic Boy, Lynette and Septic Boy, have been 100% against Russell since day one, yes. 100% against Mary day one, yes. 100% against Stewart day one. Yep. They have post signs all over the post office, their own property. They had a sheet, a 4x8 sign, all huge. About it. We have photos and videos of it all. Mm-hmm. And so they've posted on Facebook, on their websites, which now their websites, their groups are all about us. So they want to know everything and anything. I mean, you think you stalk a little much? You think you might have a bit of a mental problem there when your entire Facebook pages about Otter Creek are about nothing but what the Hales? You have issues, like deep issues, like
Super Chill. Thank you for the 10.
Like Lynette, you literally have told people that you're an ordained minister. You created a Facebook page. You got your ordained ministership, if you can even call it that, you got it online. Anybody can do that. That is not an officially ordained minister, regardless if they certify you or not. That's a joke. Why don't you tell people you were a stripper for 15 years before you go on telling them, oh, wait, Lynette. It's when your stage name, Lacey. When you want to know about this woman and all the names she has 5 different last names that she's gone by because she's been divorced 5 different times. Still living on the same property with the 5th one. Lacey, that she goes by, was her stage name. And you want to go, what stage? Well, think of it more as a pole. The woman was a stripper in Iowa and Missouri for 15 years. Now, I'm not saying people can't change their lives, but then to try and benefit off of calling yourself an ordained minister, trying to pretend like you know the Bible, you don't. You did it so that you could officially get paid to marry people. That's all it is. Are you doing it up on a stage with a pole on each side or what? Ridiculous, Lynette. One lie after another, after another, after another. Now, she wants to be the town clerk. Remember, she even placed in the minutes, because it's all public information, that the job was offered. No, it wasn't placed in the minutes. She posted it online that the job was offered to her.
John, thank you for the 5.
Is Russ the Sus and Don the Con putting polls in the office for you there, Lynette?
Well, a lot of people were wondering, well, how do you just bring in a temporary clerk without consulting with the other council people? Because they've done that before. This isn't the first time they've done this.
So
they've done it before.
They hired Angela.
10 memberships. Thank you, Alice.
They posted the job. They hired Angela. Lynette and Therese Granger, the new mayor, both applied for the job. Neither of them got it because they gave it to Angela. And then Lynette went all over online trashing Mary and Russell. I think Lynette is the one that causes,
thank you, Michelle,
all of Mary's health issues, because this is just an issue with us for the past couple months. But for her, it's been years. They're there full time, 100%. Her and Septic Boy have been at this for years versus we're only there a few months out of the year. So, Lynette, you going to put a poll in town hall or what?
I thought it was Lunette.
She's a loon. She's a lie. I'm sure you can come up with a whole lot of other things. Turd, old lady.
Thank you, Shane. Just gifted 5 What the Hills memberships.
Just absolutely crazy. I bet Marilyn Raby, who sucks dry gravy, is jealous.
Marilyn Raby, thank you for the 5 who just sent $5.
And totally and completely jealous. I believe Marilyn Raby is jealous, saying, you know what? You got me running security, keeping Lynette away.
Thank you, Kathy, for the gift.
And she's probably asking, can we get a pole at the schoolhouse? Well, no, because
a 2-inch pipe pole?
Well, we do have a lot of 2-inch pipes now for the new bird aviary here at Hale's headquarters. But Lynette and Septic Boy also have a no trespass order on them. So
Jody Chance, thank you for the 10.
That's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. That's gonna be a little bit of a challenge for them. So you have Lynette actually somehow, some way, we don't know how she worked her way into town hall, but with no doubt, I mean, it's got to be another lie. Oh, I have government experience. You are a stripper for 15 years. You're a professional beggar now. You're a stalker.
A lot of people are curious what type of government experience she has.
Boy.
Does jail time count as government experience?
Well, we know her ex-husband. We know one of her ex-husband has done jail time. You want to tell him for what?
I mean, does that count as government experience by going to visit your ex-husband in prison because he got charged with second-degree murder?
Second-degree murder. I'm curious if she was a part of it. But second-degree murder, 50. Oh, wait, are we telling you too many plot twists? We're probably revealing a little bit too much.
I think we're premature.
We're premature on this. Because there's a bunch coming. There's so much coming down the pipeline. You mean when she quit her job and that she worked 3 days a week to visit her husband who got charged with second-degree murder?
Marilyn Raby, thank you for the 5.
And now is a professional beggar who says she can't afford to feed her family. Yeah. What in the world do you have turtles for?
That, and a lot of people are wondering if she has no money, how did she afford that brand new Jeep? Because those Jeeps are not cheap. How did she afford that brand new trailer? The camper.
Good question. Well, could have been the stripper pole. She might have picked a pole back up for all we know. 15 years at it.
Thank you, Dwayne, for the 2.
15 years at it. I mean, it's like riding a bike, right?
I don't know. Wouldn't know that. Couldn't answer that. Sorry.
So somehow, some way, she weaseled her way in there, which was the biggest joke. Now, if it were me, if I were the new mayor,
Debbie Vaughn's writing a novel about it.
It's going to be a good novel. If it were me and I were the new mayor, I would have dismissed her immediately. Now, if you go back and look at all of the other meetings, so this is the funny part, because when you look at all of the town hall meetings and Russell says, I have no clerk, no show.
Ain't no clerk, ain't no show. But guess what?
What's the clerk doing? Taking minutes? No. Mary has never took the minutes there. Mm-hmm. Mary is always taking the recording.
Thank you, Studio Vlog.
Which the recording is always there in the middle of the table. Mary takes the recording. She types the minutes up later. I'm not saying correctly. Or maybe she never types them up because nobody's seen them.
So when the attorney showed up for his very first meeting, there was no clerk taking minutes. So I don't understand what the benefit of having Turtle Lady there taking benefits when it wasn't taking at the previous meeting.
That's an enigma, considering that she hates Russell. She hates Mary.
Thank you for
all of this stuff. We've shown screenshots this week of it. I mean, I just deleted some off of this phone. Even.
So with it being public records, the notes, can people request the rough draft of Turtle Lady's notes?
Yes, they should be able to.
Okay. Because a lot of people in the chat are saying they want a copy of the rough draft.
Don't we all? You want to know what's even more important? All right, she has a 501c3, right? Now, her 501c3 is a PT. It's a very, very delicate, very, very fragile personal trust. It's got so many restrictions that she's breaking is ridiculous. All right, so here's the IRS code right here on that, okay? Now, I want you to read right here. Must absolutely refrain from participating in the political campaigns of candidates for local. Not only has she participated, she has put signs up with her ex-husband, John Cook. She is literally breaking the law. This is what's coming next. IRS is coming after her. This woman doesn't know how to shut her mouth, doesn't know when to stop. And it is going to stop. Now, she wants to think that she's somehow going to put a stop to it. That ain't how it's going to go. This woman, it is in so deep. Now, laying in bed with Russ the Sus and Don the Con. Ain't gonna go the way she thinks it's gonna go. Ain't gonna go. Old Lynette here. Insanity. Complete and total insanity. There is something so wrong with these people.
Yeah. Well, we've already determined that she definitely needs professional help for sure.
You ain't gonna find that in Otter Creek. Poles, yeah. I mean, there's scrap metal everywhere. I mean, they had it even in their front yard. And then when I called Children's Services, they hurried up and got on Facebook and got somebody to pull all the scrap metal off of their property. But they put the metal futon up to block everybody from coming in.
That was the gate.
How about you just get a gate instead of complaining about people and saying that your daughter is a runner? How about you be a responsible parent and put up a gate? No, we have a futon.
Oh, it's a futon.
Magical futon. It's a magical futon. Nobody can get past the magical futon. The power of the futon protects this turd sanctuary.
You can't
I actually think I think it's turd dole purgatory is what it is.
You cannot make this
You
stuff up.
You cannot make it up. Oh my goodness, you cannot make it up.
There was Dawson's Creek was a show. There was I think it's pronounced Sheets Creek and now Otter Creek. Definitely show worthy. You cannot make this stuff up. I think Don doesn't know the definition of corruption. He is not corrupt, but like I said, in due time we will find out. Well, the reality is the law, and I'm not talking about when the Southerners say I called the law. Here we say cops, police. Down there we called the law. When the court system. When the court system comes out with a verdict, you're going to have the court system telling you, yeah, he's corrupt, or no, he's not. If he's not guilty, great. I'll resend on everything. But I can already tell you, he's guilty. He had this many days to provide all the information. He did not. Obviously, I'm going to take all of that information. I'm going to find everything that he broke the law on, such as I just showed you the ordinances this week on the check valves. He has broken the law.
check valve, stolen my money along with the rest of the town residents. Where's the money that I paid, that I'm legally supposed to have a check valve that the town was supposed to put in, plus the 20% upcharge? Where's the money? Where's the money? That's corruption. You charged the citizen for something they didn't receive. You pocketed, did something with the money that it wasn't meant for. I did not receive what I was supposed to receive. The residents of Otter Creek have not received what they're supposed to receive. When I go in for public records and they don't give the public records, which every single person can do this.
You can request it, but the question is, will you receive it?
Corrupt.
Yeah.
If you don't receive it, corrupt.
Yes.
Against the law, illegal. How many different ways you want me to say
Elvis Presley, thank you for the 2.
Oh, and by the way, Lynette has requested everything that I've requested as well. Because she's a professional lawyer.
She wants to read it line by line.
She wants to read it line by line. She's a professional lawyer. She's a professional firefighter. She is a professional government worker. She's a professional pole dancer. And now she's a professional lawyer.
Well, a lot of people,
and all we really know that she's done as she was a stripper for 15 years.
A lot of people are curious, like, why would she even want to consider the town clerk job? One, she says over and over again that she has a baby that requires 24/7 hour care. So why would you be interested in a part-time position if your baby requires 24/7?
She applies for it and goes, I want it. And when they turn her down, then she goes, I never wanted it anyway. I could never do it. I could never do it. I have to take care of my disabled baby for 24/7. Oh, and now she's in there again with a mask. We have literally never seen her with a mask, but she knew all the cameras were going to be there. It's her trying to get in the spotlight again. Like, it is insanity. Insanity. The weekend before, she had her daughter at the festival, the Watermelon Festival. Thousands of people all over. Her daughter almost got bucked off of a pony and hurt. Not a single mask.
Thank you, Marilyn.
And all the information is out there online. All of it. So she fits right in with Russ the Sus, Don the Con, Mary, Math is Scary, Life is Scary.
Yeah.
Like, she's one of them.
A lot of people are saying, wow, she flipped sides.
It's insanity.
How could you?
It's complete and total insanity.
Welcome, Walter.
Complete and total insanity. Well, how could she? Because she didn't get what she wanted from me, which was money. She didn't get what she wanted from everybody else, which was money. So now she has to be a victim. Well, they didn't give me what I wanted. Let me see if I can side up with the other bad guys. It's like they're having an evil villains convention. Do you think that's what they're doing? Is it Otter Creek a convention for evil villains?
Avery says she's a professional liar.
Oh, 100%.
Thank you, Avery.
100%. Now, Avery's USMC, that's Carl. He's actually an Otter Creek resident. And so he already messaged he's going to be at the town hall meeting this Tuesday. And we need him there. We need all the residents of Otter Creek to be there. You've got to, residents of Otter Creek, you have to get out and know what's going on.
You guys cannot sleep on
You
this.
have to get out and know what's going on. Your new mayor is going to be transparent with you. Your new mayor is going to share with you what's been going on behind closed doors. She's already declared transparency. She's already said this isn't going to be a one-man show. This is going to be a discussion. We're going to try and figure this out. Everything's been done behind closed doors, and a lot of it was probably illegal. She's going to let you know. You've got to get there, people of Otter Creek. I know many of you, you go, you know what? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I'll watch it. I'll watch it in your video. Go firsthand.
Yeah, you really should.
Forget my videos. I don't want to record Otter Creek. Watch it firsthand, residents of Otter Creek. Go and represent yourself and your community. You are being stolen from by the previous administration, and I look forward to the new administration correcting it. It's mind-boggling, mind-blowing, and I look forward to more people moving into Otter Creek who are good people, who want to establish small businesses, who want to establish their family, a safe place to grow. And with people as crazy as Lynette and Septic Boy waving around guns at everybody.
So
it's not a safe place right now.
No, it isn't. I personally would like to see more of the Otter Creek residents attend these meetings, but it's nice that the vet showed up because he did say he hadn't attended a meeting in 5 years. So you encourage that.
So that's
Christy.
I've seen more people at these previous couple months meeting than I've ever seen before.
So the question is, now that Russ is no longer the mayor, will the previous council people show up to the meetings? For example, Stuart, will he show up to any future meetings?
Here's the crazy thing.
Will Dan show up to any future meetings?
Will Laura show up?
Will Laura?
They all ran for council for this council. They didn't get voted. Why aren't they there?
Don's son even ran. Will he show up to any of the meetings?
Why aren't they at the meetings?
So if they don't show up, I feel that speaks volumes on their character.
They ran for the council seats.
Yes.
They ran for the council seats.
And they have yet to attend any town meeting.
They're not there.
No.
Why aren't they there? They ran. Laura Mott ran for the council seat. Stewart ran for the council seat. Dan Shannon, Captain Dan, ran for the council seat. Don's son ran for the council seat.
Yeah.
Why aren't they there?
Right. So
if it was so important to run for the council seats, why isn't it important enough to actually show up for the meetings?
Mm-hmm. You know, and a lot of people are questioning, okay, well, if Russell said on camera, I have no idea what goes on in the office, in the clerk's office, what was in that wagon then?
How could he know what was Mary's and what wasn't Mary's? Now, I'm going to say this firsthand. I saw that office when it was opened. When the new mayor opened the office. Now, I've only sat at the desk and been so frustrated with Mary trying to communicate very simple ideas. Break down the bill for me. I'm not paying your illegal late fees. Very, very simple concepts. I've never looked around the office. When I looked around that office, my head just spun. How could
Thank you, Michelle, for the 20.
How could anybody work and get anything accomplished in that environment?
Yeah.
And
very disorganized.
Oh my goodness.
Then that speaks volumes of the previous clerk, the way she was disorganized in her office.
That speaks volumes of why you have to hire another clerk, and then they illegally hired a third one
without even letting council.
Council didn't know.
They had no idea.
Can't do it. They can't just go spend money on a third clerk. That's corrupt. Don, if you're watching, which I'm sure Lynette's going to swing over to your place tomorrow and let you know everything I said. You guys can watch together out on your porch. That's corrupt.
So another thing that made me raise my eyebrow is when Don said that the town clerk position was a very complicated position. Maybe to him it's complicated, but to anyone with a brain, they should be able to complete that job.
10 hours. 10 hours
a week. How you're hired.
10 hours a week is my guess. That's my guess.
Because
probably the most strenuous time is probably just punching in water bills in the program that spits out a bill. That's probably with the bulk. You might need a few more hours beginning of the month when you're putting out bills, which you should have to the end of the month to actually pay it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's a 10-hour-a-week job, if that. It is not a 2-person job. It is not a 3-person job. It is not a 60-hour-a-week job. But you can see the things that were most important. Records, they are legally the custodial of records. They must record. They must provide the records whenever it's requested. Mm-hmm. Never got done.
Yeah.
And somehow the town wasted. Listen, the town of Otter Creek, if you guys are out there, they wasted your money. They wasted it. I mean, they were just literally throwing it in a fire and burning it. They wasted your money. You want to know why the town of Otter Creek is broke? Because of the previous administration. Corrupt. Very, very, very corrupt. And I have no doubt you're going to learn more about that.
Was questioned.
Huge misappropriation.
So a lot of people are asking about that audit. That audit was for the wrong year. It was for 2021. That 1.4 million check was written in August of 22. Where is that audit? We're in 23. Where is the audit for 2022?
They were late on the 2021 audit. They're late on the 2022 audit. And if you read the actual audit, they had problems getting all the information from Mary. And they address it in the audit. Mm-hmm. We can't get the required information. You are in a financial emergency.
They're in a hole.
They lost money.
And certain monies weren't allocated correctly.
In the red. They were misallocating funds.
Yeah.
That's corrupt.
Corruption. So it looks like they just got a slap on the wrist to get it fixed, but I highly doubt it's gotten fixed since that gentleman came in to go over the audit. So 2022 again is when that 1.4 million check was issued. It wasn't issued in 21, it was issued in 22. So where is that audit? Again, we're already halfway through 2023. Where is that audit, and when is it going to happen? A lot of people are wondering. So that's something maybe someone should bring up in the next town hall meeting when you go in.
So here's the real question, though, too. Remember the emergency meeting? We got to have an emergency meeting. Can I have a motion to pay the bills? What freaking bills? Guess how many bills got paid? I think I can publicly share this.
Well, Russ even said, well, the reason why I didn't get the bills, and he just muttered some nonsense excuse.
No bills have been paid.
So here's another question you can ask at the next town hall meeting. Obviously, there was no clerk, so there's no show. Who sent out the water bills? Were water bills sent out?
No water. All right, so no water bills have been sent out, which I'm not complaining. I never got mine on time anyway. So no water bills have been sent out. No bills have been paid. Now, let me break this down for you, okay? They had an emergency meeting. Russell put on the agenda, pay the bills. The motions were made to pay the bills that are necessary.
But he even had no idea what bills.
You have motors that run the pumps in the water system for Otter Creek. They have not paid the electric bill. The electric is going to get shut off on the town. The town will not have water, which may be a good thing.
So another thing that should be brought up at the next town hall meeting is, can they change their 15-day cycle to a normal 30-day cycle like most businesses
normal
do?
People. So in my guess, this is just my guess. And again, I'm sharing a guess with this. Because Russell, I don't believe Russell paid any bills. And I know that because I was there when Russell gave the mail to the new mayor, okay? Russell said, Madam Mayor, here's the mail. And I was there when she opened the mail. The bills were there. They weren't paid. And I filmed her pulling out the rules of order and the help for the new council. The bills were there. They weren't paid. So in my guess, this is just my guess, the electric bill on the pumps, the electric bill that runs the motors for the pumps that supplies the water to the townspeople at a bare minimum, because I know the town hall hadn't been open for 2 months. And again, this is my guess. You can't say, oh, this is absolute truth, because this is a guess. The electric bill has not been paid in 2 months at a minimum. At a minimum. Now, I'm going to ask, I want to know when this upcoming meeting, which is Tuesday. So I'm flying back to Florida, and we're going to have another regularly scheduled. This will be the
regular scheduled meeting, which is
to be the third meeting in 3 weeks. Yeah. And hopefully we get to know what's really going on in our town.
Yes.
But I got to know. Has the electric been paid in 2 months? Because if it hasn't, I would think Florida Central Electric is sending disconnect notices, because I know that if I don't pay my water bill by the 15th, I get disconnection notices.
And late fees.
The town of Otter Creek, the residents are at risk right now of having all the water shut off if Russell didn't pay the bills. And I'm almost positive, because I saw the bills in the mail. It was just handed over to the new mayor. There was no explanation. There was no, I did this, I didn't do this. There was nothing. It was just handed over. Go with it.
So when Jeremy and I first moved to Otter Creek, Brett and Therese had invited us to attend a town hall meeting. And so we're like, okay.
We thought it'd be fun in the community.
Oh my goodness. I wish we would have recorded that meeting. That was one of the, you think the
meetings now are dysfunctional?
That one was so bad.
Russell was yelling at people, standing up, threatening people.
Oh my gosh.
And Brett and Therese afterwards, they go, we are so embarrassed.
They're so embarrassed.
We're like, we brought you here for community involvement. And we looked at each other afterwards. We're like,
did that just happen? So that
most
night,
dysfunctional thing we've ever seen in our lives.
It reminded me, because when Don made that snide remark about how he thought it was odd that the one person on the council table who had the least amount of experience all of a sudden is the mayor. So the first thing that I thought was, wow, was that a jab because she's a female? And then it took me back to that very first meeting we ever attended, the very first town hall meeting Jeremy and I ever attended at Otter Creek, when Laura Mott got nominated as the mayor, and he stood out of his seat. He flew out of his seat and had a fit then because she was a female. And dropped. He was running for a seat and decided to bow out and didn't want to be a part of the council. So it makes me question: does he have an issue with females being in power?
Lord knows if he has an issue with you, you'll let him hear about it. And then you
Mike D, thank you for the 10.
The only thing you want is power.
Look, I'm a nice person.
No.
Until I'm not a nice person. Just like you.
You're
a
95,
nice person.
You're 95%
until you're not a nice person.
Mean. You're 5%.
Most people
you're
are
5%
nice
somewhat
until you
okay.
give them a reason. No one likes to be taken advantage of. No one likes to be pushed.
Oh,
and
well,
so
look at my life.
You have to have a backbone. You got to stick up for yourself. Because if Jeremy didn't point out the wrongs, which most of the people in Otter Creek may have been sleeping and didn't realize this, if he didn't stick up and say, okay, something's not right here, none of this would have been brought to the surface. A lot of people would have had no idea what was going on, especially if they're not attending the town hall meetings. And especially if Russell or the councilmen aren't discussing this stuff during town hall meeting. How come no one in the town knew about the locks going on the fire hydrants? That was all one big news to everybody.
I'm hoping those come off the next meeting,
so that's
which is Tuesday. We're 2 days away. I will be flying. I will be there. George has refused to go.
I don't want to go. I'd rather stay up here with the birds, hang out in the aviary, and just be away from it. And I can watch it remotely from here. And I get updates from him because we're on the phone with each other all the time when he's away. So I'd rather just watch it remotely than to physically be. Because I asked him, do you want me to go with you? I mean, I would prefer not to go with you.
No, you didn't. You just said, I'm not going. Somebody asked the question, did anybody catch it when Don said, I don't represent you, speaking to me, Jeremy? Yeah. Everybody represented it. Or everybody heard it. So he said, I'm not here to disappoint you, and I'm not here to represent you either. I represent the town, not you. Okay, great.
He's part of the town.
I have over $1 million. Don the Con. Let me grasp this, okay? I have over $1 million invested into Otter Creek inside city limits.
Thank you, Alice, for gifting 10 memberships.
Now, I'm sure there are others that have more invested in the city limits than I do. I'm not the only one, but I assure you, I am part of the town. I am a resident. And quite frankly, I feel like I've done more for the residents in the past 3 years than you have.
I find that odd that he even said that.
And I'm not trying to make a comparison of who's better than the other person.
Thank you,
but
Harriet,
if you represent the residents, what are you doing for them?
You know, it'd be interesting to find out what Don has done for the community.
Well, I know he bought the old fire truck for $500, and that's a freaking heck of a deal. How did Don get a deal for the old fire truck? They disband the fire department, and then he gets the fire truck, which has got like no miles on it, and he gets it for $500. How do you get a fire truck for $500 that's practically new?
Thank you, James, for the 10.
You're Don the Con. That's how.
You think he conned the town?
How do you get a practically new fire truck for $500? I mean, I blows my mind.
You know, if you ever drive around Town Hall or Otter Creek because you're curious and you come across a fire truck, it's pretty sad where it's at. Like it should be beautified and showed off, not buried under a jungle
or garbage.
That too.
I can't even comprehend the mentality of these people. Like, listen, I understand culture is huge for people, and the culture of Florida is
Otter,
probably a little different. And Otter, Otter Creek culture is different for sure. Mm-hmm. But I was born and raised to work hard and to keep things clean, and to have respect for other people, and to have pride in my work, and have pride in my possessions, and not a false pride, not a bad pride, to take care of things. So, for example, Hale's headquarters, past 2 days, I've spent mowing. You would think that would be a normal thing in Otter Creek. Nope.
Yeah.
Clean it up. Nope. I was trained to actually care.
Welcome, Julie.
So Otter Creek doesn't see everything I do back behind in the 70 acres, which I appreciate. We want solitude. We want solace. We don't want Lynette and Septic Boy anywhere near us. That's why they're being served with no trespass orders. But they're going to see everything in the schoolhouse. That's why I'm putting up, instead of a wooden fence that will rot, I'm putting up a vinyl fence, which costs me more. Be a beautiful white three-piece vinyl fence. It's going to be beautiful because I take pride in the things that I actually own. It's not a bad pride. It's a pride that wants to care for them. That's why we've worked so hard on the schoolhouse. That's why we've worked so hard on the property, because we actually have pride.
Thank you for
we spent
5.
3 years cleaning up that ranch that previous owners used as a dump, and neighbors used as a dump, and locals used as a dump.
It's sad when people don't take pride in what they own. Like, especially with Don not taking pride in that fire truck. Like, there's so much history in that fire truck, and there's zero pride.
Why wouldn't you keep it up? Show it off. Yeah. Run it in the town parade. The Christian school does a town parade every year. Why not put it? Why aren't you keeping it up? Why isn't it in the parade?
Right.
Like, it blows my mind.
Christian's brothers in the chat.
What's up, Christian's brother?
Said, fully support what you're doing for the community.
You're going to find out tomorrow whether Christian and Patience are having a boy or a girl.
Ooh,
they have their appointments.
George.
If you don't know this Christian's brother yet, they have an appointment at 11 and an appointment at 1. And
both pertaining to baby George.
Patience invited me to go to the appointments and actually video it. And I asked her, so I was joking with her. I was like, "Oh, do you want me to video?" She's like, "Yes." And I was like, I looked at her, I was like, no. I was like, listen, I was like, Patience, there are some things that are only for you and Christian.
Yeah.
I'm not coming and videoing that. And so she was 100% okay with
all
it.
about it.
100%
She's
okay with it.
Super excited.
She was like, "Yeah, you need to come for my sonogram." I'm like, no. I was a joke. I was like, that's you and Christian. But they find out tomorrow. But I did tell them that they had to tell me immediately afterwards what baby George is going to be.
Big Dog, thank you for the 10. Says, need to focus on removing Russ and Don under state statute. Guyland clearly met first priority.
Yeah, and the only person that can legally remove them is the governor. Mm-hmm. The governor is the only one with the authority. And you'll hear Russell say that in previous meetings, because Russell has been extremely vindictive against people who go against him and vote against him on previous councils. So Zim, who's now the vice mayor, Russell has tried to remove him, and he couldn't without DeSantis, without the governor. Okay. And so Russell knows that the only way for him to be removed is for the governor to step in, which you guys have all called the governor's office. You actually shut down the governor's phone system. You've also contacted the attorney general. You've shut down the phone system. They all know what's going on in Otter Creek. The only way to get rid of them is, number one, governor removes them. Number two, they step down. And you would think they would both be wise enough to just step down. But it ain't going to happen that way. You know, that'd be an incredible plot twist. And Russell's not out of court, and neither is Mary. Regardless of Mary's health issues right now, regardless of Russell's health issues, that does not get you out of the consequences of your actions. They will both have their days in court. Absolutely. 100%. They will be subpoenaed. If they don't show, they will be jailed. They are going to show. They will have their days in court.
Are we doing mail?
No. Okay. It's just insanity. So next meeting is this Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that the town of Otter Creek has more representation than ever before, because we have a new mayor with a new agenda, and who has clearly stated that she will be transparent and the people will know. And I don't expect her to have all the answers. She's literally thrown into this cesspool of garbage of Mary's and Russell's and corruption, literally thrown into it with no guidance whatsoever. I bet you Russell isn't even answering her questions, emails, phone, anything like that. I bet you, because that's the kind of person Russell is.
I could picture that too. But I know that Therese is very bright.
Extremely intelligent.
She's very organized, and I feel that she doesn't need Russell's guidance because he's just going to train her the wrong way, and so
and train Wrecker on purpose.
He'll set her up for failure. So I personally wouldn't feel comfortable with Russ training her on anything. I'd much rather her be trained by someone that actually knows what they're doing and that knows how to be a mayor the correct way. So Otter Creek's not an island on its own. It sits in an entire county. So you have all these surrounding cities with mayors. Why not join forces with those mayors and get correct training? If I were mayor, that's what I would want. I wouldn't want training from Mary or Russ. I would want training from someone else that's in a thriving town, surrounding city around Otter Creek.
And I do have a friend who's a mayor and has been a mayor in a thriving city for quite some time. And
Adam, thank you for the 10.
And per his request, I will not be stating his name, but I've actually asked him, I was like, if I fly you to Otter Creek to do training with the council, would you be okay with that? And he can't get away for that, but that's all right. But he's also said, hey, forward all of this to Therese. You know, this is how we do our minutes. This is how our agendas look. This is how it all looks. And he said, boy, I saw the last agenda on your video for Otter Creek. He's like, I was just laughing. He's like, I was laughing.
It really is.
He's like, wait until you see our agenda. And he sent it to me and I forwarded it on to Therese as well. And so it's crazy. It is literally crazy that you have other mayors in other parts of the world watching this debacle, this dysfunction, this absolute circus with the monkeys running out of control, throwing poo at each other. Like, they can't believe it. And I live it, and I find it hard to believe.
You know, a lot of people from all over the globe have their eyes on Otter Creek, and it's just so fascinating to them. Like every character that we've shown in Otter Creek, it's just fascinating that it's hard to look away. It's hard to just look away, and people can't wait till the next episode because they can't wait to hear what Don's going to say. They can't wait to hear what Richard's going to say or what Russ is going to say or anything crazy.
You think Marilyn
or another
Raby,
plot twist?
You think
or
Marilyn
what Turtle
Raby,
Lady's going to say?
You think Marilyn Raby, who sucks dry gravy, would be a good town clerk or mayor?
Marilyn, I think you'd make a good town clerk.
I don't know. Are you going
to move to Otter Creek?
I got a couple of 20-foot trailers there that I would like to hold on to. Just saying, Marilyn, if you do apply for town clerk, trailers are not included as a bonus or a sign-on bonus. No trailers for you.
No.
None. The world is watching. And remember when Mary was so snide and she was like, you got your little show. Oh my goodness.
And your little show.
Woman, Mary. 3 years ago, I stepped into your office and I called you out on your corruption.
Yeah.
You stole from me. You intentionally stole from me.
And
I called you out of it. I called you out on it and I recorded all of it. And I told you, because you corrected it, that I would never show this to the world unless you did something stupid again. And what did you do? You went on and on and on to do more. The world now knows. But I got that little show going. No, it's not a little show. It's a vlog of my life. It's not a show at all. It's real life. It's a scrapbook of my life and memories that I want to remember. That's what it is. And I invite other people to watch as well.
Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people that also live in small towns, this has enabled them to start going to their own town hall meetings to see what is happening in their town. And so I think that's great to encourage people to go to attend their own town hall meetings or their county meetings.
It's also encouraged some locals to crash through my gates in their underwear.
That it has done that. It's also encouraged a lot of locals to start cleaning up,
which is good. Very
scrap.
Good.
There's a scrapper that comes around that'll pick it up for free. Utilize that service.
Everybody wants to see the tree that's growing in the boat for 30 years as well.
I want to see that boat too.
I have pictures, but
because I heard Don say that it's a planter.
Yeah, it's not.
Planter.
People don't take pictures of the boat that's been sitting there
because they think
for
it's
30
cool.
years because they think it's cool. They take a picture because they're ridiculing you.
They're like, what the Hales?
Like, who in the world would allow this to go on? Like, they can't. Their minds can't comprehend it. The I don't even know what you would use for words. The absolute irresponsibility, laziness.
Dave H, thank you for the 5.
Debacle.
I guess you'll have to wait till Tuesday's meeting. So a lot of people are looking forward to Larry and Charlie to come back to the meeting.
Which they will be there. They've already confirmed. I've been on the phone with them both, and Larry and Charlie will be there. So that everybody understands, Larry is the father of Charlie. Mm-hmm. Charlie wore the Cobra Kai shirt. So the Charlie is the son of Larry.
Yeah, and they live one
town over in Gulf Hammock.
Yeah,
with Brian. If you guys remember Brian, Grandma Gail. So they're over in Gulf Hammock, and beautiful, beautiful people over there. And I keep telling Brian, and I keep telling Larry as well. I was like, well, if things don't go good in Otter Creek, I'm moving on over to Gulf Hammock.
Larry used to live in Otter Creek. His mom grew up in Otter Creek. And so
he
knows a lot of people still in Otter Creek.
Many family ties.
Yeah. And they want to see Otter Creek great again.
Well, a lot of people want to see Otter Creek great again. Even the people of Otter Creek. But what you see are the fools. You see the Don the Cons, the Russ the Sus, the Lynette, stripper for 15 years, turned ordained minister, doesn't know her Bible, but boy, she'll profit off of you by marrying you because she got that online certificate. Absolutely disgusting, Lynette. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. So another thing a lot of people would like to see.
By the way, she wants to talk about our relationship nonstop as well. She wants to talk about us living together. Wow. Yeah. By the way, there's a reason why we live together. She wants to talk about whether we're married or not, and who canceled or who hasn't, or who does, and who what wears what when. There's reasons for all of that. And I assure you, I'm in control of those reasons.
It's really none of her concern, considering that she still lives with her ex-husband.
And she was a stripper for 15 years in Iowa and Missouri.
So a lot of people want to see the old train depot restored. And again, whoever owns that, it's on private property.
Love to restore it.
They don't even take pride in it. There's a jungle growing over it. And it's sad. And we want to be able to encourage the people in the town to restore these things. The town, I think an idea would be to coordinate maybe once a quarter where people volunteer their time to help these older citizens in Otter Creek that don't have the resources to clean their own property. Let the locals volunteer their time and help you. So I think that would be a good idea to bring up at the next town hall.
And I've even shared with the current administration. I said, I'll bring Christian patients down. Jen. I'll fly them down. You guys want to put together a whole weekend of town cleanup? I'll bring them down. I'll use my trucks. You know what?
I will fly down for that.
Yeah, right.
If you say, hey, do you want to come to Otter Creek to volunteer time to clean up the town? Yes, I'll come for that.
She won't.
I want to see that boat that's a planter.
And then she'll be like, you do it, Jeremy. I'm Coldy. I'm sicky. I'm scaredy.
But my fingers hurt. Oh, your fingers hurt? Well, now your back's going to hurt because you just landed landscaping duty.
She won't.
I would consider doing that.
All right. I know some of you have questions that we have or have not addressed.
Thank you, Dee Dee, for the 5.
Hit us with some questions that you have. If I can answer it, I will do my best. I am much deeper into this than George is. Not to say that she can't answer it, but she pretty much sits here at home in Hale's headquarters and sleeps. So let's see what kind of questions you have.
You took a nap earlier. You're not going to throw yourself under the bus?
Like I said, you sleep.
You took a nap.
So let's have some of the questions. So one question is, Channel 22 Keith says, will you set up a GoFundMe for Otter Creek? Currently, no. If there are projects, we will share appropriate projects, but we are not going to set up a GoFundMe for Otter Creek. So the Christmas project will be a Christmas project, and we have intentions of having a Christmas at the schoolhouse for the kids. And no, Lynette will not be allowed on the property. Neither will Septic Boy.
Well, she publicly states that she can't bring her ill baby around people anyway. So why would she even care? Why would she get offended?
Then she wants to pretend she's offended all over Facebook.
It makes no sense.
I wasn't allowed to come to the dollar sale. We never said she wasn't allowed to come to the dollar sale. No, she said she's not allowed to come to the dollar sale. But she's not anymore. She's getting served with no trespassing.
So what about Underwear
What a-
Bandit?
what a-
Do you have an update on the Underwear Bandit?
She's been arrested. That's all we know. I
Yeah.
don't have a court date yet. I haven't been reimbursed for the fence either.
You can look it up online
Or for the gate.
because it is public record.
Yeah, and you actually will get that when you
Avian,
look
thank
online.
you for the 5.
Because most towns have a website where all the records are on the website. So when you do a records request, you just go to the website and you find it. Otter Creek.
They're so old school and so behind on technology. Like you can't even pay your bill online if you wanted to.
Jerry wants to know, have you gotten any new storage units lately? I just spent $3,613 Saturday for 4 units, and you will be seeing them soon.
We went to a different auction that we typically don't go to, so it was my first type of auction this way, so that'll be interesting to see.
Michelle wants to know, when are you two getting married? You want to answer that, George? Since you always want to tell me, tell the people.
During the Q&A, when we did half mil time to grow, one of the things was don't ask us that because we don't have an answer.
The answer is I have postponed it until things are correct in her life. She's a mess. So that's the answer. So anybody who else wants to ask, you can tell them. Jeremy has postponed it. When are you going to be in Otter Creek? I just saw it. Have the locks been changed at Town Hall? Donna wants to know. I do not know if locks have been changed at Town Hall. I will find out on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll find out. I will try and ask and see what's going on with that. What happened to the crazy lady that ran into the gate? She has been arrested.
Yes. So that's
we answered that one already.
Let's talk about the aviary.
Who asked a question on the aviary?
Someone asked, how are the birds liking the aviary? So earlier today, I went up there to check on them, and the peacocks keep going in the chicken mansion and just looking at themselves in the mirror. We have a mirror in there, and they're just fascinated with looking at themselves in the mirror instead of playing around. And there's so much room for them to fly and play around, and they just would rather stand in front of the mirror.
Marilyn Raby, Sucks Dry Gravy, said yes. Yes, the locks have been changed by Marilyn. Courtesy of Marilyn.
It was all volunteer.
Shane, we're not going to have time for mail. We have plenty of it behind us, but we're just not going to have time tonight. We will not have an auction either because George had some episodes earlier.
So we were going
and I'm just done with it.
We were going to, but Jeremy's allergies is acting up and he's a little cranky.
No, we were going to, but George was acting up and I'm tired of it. So
ready.
We're not doing an auction.
We can do an
tonight.
auction if we want.
Enough is enough. What is Baby George going to call you?
I'll take Grandma George. Baby George can call me Grandma George.
Papa Jimmy. He's going to call me, what the hell? What the hell? Somebody said, thank you for fixing the door. The door has been officially fixed.
Yes.
It does not squeak anymore.
How long will that last?
I don't know, but Flippin' Adventures was just in here. I just saw a message from Flippin' Adventures. Let's see. She just said, Flippin' Adventure said, I would like to answer the sound question. We are planning to have the mic and speakers working at the next meeting. It was tested and worked Friday. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. There will be appropriate sound at the next meeting.
It only took how many years?
Wow. I didn't even have to pay Christian to do it. That is amazing. That is amazing.
That's gonna be huge because it's hard to hear people.
Jen wants to know, will you get the baseball diamond moved? Well, last time we checked from Lynette, she said that Otter Creek does not need a baseball diamond.
Yeah.
But Otter Creek doesn't need a turd sanctuary either. So
who does she think she is saying rattling stuff off like that? It just makes her look so bad as a person.
Like a fool. A complete and total fool. Next question. Is there going to be a microphone in front of Don? So he can say I didn't hear something. No, we're gonna put actual hearing aids in Don.
What is that? You know he can hear, and he's only doing that to give himself time to think. I find it odd that I didn't hear you.
All right, let's see. How's Georgia's health? She's feisty as ever, and it is not okay.
I didn't take my thyroid pills.
She's fine. Her attitude isn't.
I didn't take my thyroid pills, so I've been a little cranky.
When are we going to see the kids? That's a good question, Karen. You were going to tomorrow, but they have doctor's appointments, so you won't see them tomorrow. All right, Turtle Lady's crazy. I'm glad they aren't my neighbors. Ooh, Heidi.
We wish the same thing.
We wish the exact same thing.
Wish the same.
We wish the exact same thing. All right, Mary Beth wants to know, didn't they get 2 water grants? Of course they got 2 water grants. And what should they be doing with that money from the grants?
Thank you, Melanie.
They should be putting in check valves for everybody like they legally have in their ordinances instead of stealing the residents' money. But did they? Nope. What did they do? You know what? You're going to find a lot.
They've never discussed it.
I think you're going to find a lot of information on what was done with all of that money at Tuesday's meeting because nobody knows. Russell has kept all the information. But what's happening now is you have a new administration in there and they're starting to find things out. And I'm sure they're going to tell us. I'm hoping they're going to tell us. So hopefully we all learn together.
Thank you, Kathy, for the 5.
I can't wait to figure out what in the world did they do with all this grant money that they're taking bids on from one company, not 3 companies. That, oh, well, everything is just $20,000. Well, what's the quote? 20 grand. What's the quote on that? 20 grand. How is every quote in Otter Creek 20 grand?
Thank you, Daryl, for the 10.
It just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Yeah.
All right, I'm thinking about buying property in Otter Creek. Do it. Do it.
Where's that?
Do it. Fluffy Bunny says, who takes care of the water that goes to the people? That is Lonnie's job. He's certified for water. Russell is not. Now, Russell wants everybody to think that he's the one that's in charge of the water. Lonnie is the water guy.
Tim,
he's the chemist. He's the one that has to take the bad water and make it good again. What happened to the money that the state of Florida gave to them? We don't know. Who controls the books? Board member or the clerk? Steve Austin says, who controls the books? Well, that would probably fall under the clerk position as far as you have accounts receivable, accounts payable,
so balancing
and then balancing the budget. That's going to be in the clerk's position. But I don't know if that's going to remain that way. That's going to be all for the new administration. Typically, you don't usually have a checks and balance system where there's 1 or 2 people that you have to sign a check at the same time.
Adjusting.
So usually you have to have a mayor and a clerk both sign a check so there can be no theft usually in this type of situation. And why did Russell want Mary as the clerk? She had no brains. That's the reality of it. Mary's IQ was very, very low.
She would have been one of his puppets.
So Mary being a low IQ and Russell trying to get things through, she could never call him out on it. Yeah. Why would Russell come into the next meeting? Which no doubt Lynette is the one that approached him. Okay. There's no doubt. He did not approach her. There is no doubt whatsoever. She's the one that approached. And him to go, well, I think you should consider her. Because you want a fool in that position so they can't see the corruption that you did. Except there ain't no fools in that position right now. And I have no doubt they're digging up stuff that's going to blow our minds with plot twist after plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. I have no doubt at all. It's going to be incredible to hear what the mayor has to say. I can't wait.
It is going to be interesting.
Is the new aviary year-round home for the chickens and the peacocks? Go ahead and answer that one, George.
Peacocks will stay here in the winter. We will not be taking them back down to Florida with us. It's just too stressful for them. The chickens, there's a possibility that they can come down. They're easier to transfer and bring back and forth, but ultimately it's up to him.
All right. Everyone needs Let's see. We'll take one more. Where's the bird aviary? It's at Hale's headquarters. Bird aviary is at Hale's headquarters.
Yeah. So if you've seen our videos where when we first bought the property, they had an existing chicken mansion here. And so the aviary goes over the existing mansion. And the
tallest aviary they have ever built.
This particular company has
because of the chicken mansion. Yeah. I wanted it to be included inside instead of having to build another structure. And everybody's like, why didn't you turn it around? Because it's in solid concrete.
Thank you so much.
We can't just turn it around. Yeah. It's in solid concrete.
So they definitely they still have to get adjusted to it. They do like hanging out where the opening of the coop and the peacock playpen is. I've tried to walk with them so that they can venture off further into the aviary and they'll follow me. And then like I'll feed them snacks through the aviary because I'm doing it on the outside. Stats, thank you so much for the 2.
Yeah, they'll be fine in the weather.
They just need time to adjust to feel comfortable to explore that side of the aviary, and I'm working with them every day. The very first day that it went up and it was final, I spent 2 hours up there with them, and both of the male peacocks had their feathers going, and they were looking at me right in the eyes, trying to shake their tail feathers. I was like, oh, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Randy wants to know, did you get caught driving the lift, Jeremy? All right, let's back up because there's been so much foolishness posted on that video about the lift. How dare you? You stole their equipment. There's a huge liability. First and foremost, it's a rented piece of equipment that I paid for. So it's not the first one I've ever rented. As a matter of fact, I've rented much bigger ones. I have every legal right to use anything that's on my property. And so, no, I wasn't caught. And yes, I told the crew that I was going to do it, and we videoed it. So all that being said, I'm paying for it.
Yeah, they knew.
Like the ridiculousness. This is George always says, I don't want to do YouTube. I get sick and tired of the comments.
I quit every day.
The ridiculousness of some of the comments that we get on a video. It's just foolishness. Like, I'm never watching you again. How dare you? You put George's life at, like, stupid. Stupid. Oh, yeah. We're going to illegally do something. We're going to record it and put it on YouTube. Yeah. Like, why can't people think? Like, why can't people think? Incompetence does not sit well with me.
Well, we have mentioned before that no matter what we do, no matter what video we show,
I can give away $1 million.
Someone will get offended.
And 1 million people are going to be offended that I didn't give it to where they wanted it to go.
Yeah. And that's
is insane.
The nature of the beast with
everything is insane.
Online.
You'd be in a bad mood too if George was doing what she did to me the past 2 hours. So, no, I just don't hide it.
You mean 2 days or 2 hours or
2 days as well? Yeah, it's been 2 days. We're going on day 3 now. All right. We love the new mayor as well. Any other questions? The coyotes. When's the last time we saw a coyote?
It's been a while.
Haven't seen one for at least a week. Since I've been home from Florida, I haven't seen one, but I'm headed back to Florida, so we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there any way you can change the names of the checking account in the mayor's office? Lorna wants to know from Facebook. So I can't. I don't have any authority to do that. So that is all on the council. I have no authority to do those things. So we'll find out what's going on Tuesday at the meeting. You'll find out. I mean, I'll find out. I'll film it. I'll share it with you, and I'm going to find out whatever the mayor shares, whatever's in the mayor's agenda, whatever's in Madam Mayor's agenda, and whatever she shares with the council and the people, which I'm hoping is everything, because that's what she's stating. You remember, she said, I do not believe in this one-man show, and she was referring to Russell. I believe in transparency and discussion, and I want you to be involved. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a very, very powerful statement that she made, because the people of Otter Creek have been in the dark, and now she's going to shine light. And I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot of light that's going to be shown in
lot of things
this next
going
Tuesday.
To surface.
And who knows what we're going to all learn? We're going to learn it together as a community. So even though Don thinks I'm not a part of the community, we're going to learn it together. Felicia says, Jeremy, you need a vacation in Florida. I'm flying there tomorrow. No, I guess we changed it to Tuesday now because of everything that's going on. So I have to fly there and make it in time on Tuesday. So Deanna, I'm flying Tuesday instead of Monday now. So I'll get there same time you do probably, because I had to change it up with everything else going on in my life. How about someone donating paint and skills? Mary says, I'm sure.
Thank you, Marie.
I'm sure we'll get to that point, but we don't know exactly what's going on yet.
What did Marilyn Raby ask?
Probably if she could steal a trailer.
Did you pick who you're giving the $1 million to yet? Marilyn Raby.
I just figured Marilyn Raby would steal it.
Yeah.
I'd need $1 million to pick somebody to give it away to.
She'd change the locks and just take it.
Sledge just said the $1 million is mine. I don't have $1 million to give away. It's just a situation and a circumstance. Or do I? Maybe I have $5 million to give away.
Steven Stewart says, I think George is a sweet lady, just has that Egyptian temper. Yeah. There's times where, yeah, absolutely. Everybody does. Of the time. I don't know anybody that doesn't.
95% of the time. How about making a back door in the Chicken Mansion? Don't think they're going to do that. They have runs on the sides. I don't need any extra projects or any extra work.
Oh, yeah. They have plenty of room. Like on camera, it looks tiny and thin, but there's plenty of room. And it is. They're literally chicken runs.
There is. The door is propped open with a hook. The peacocks, everything can get back there. I don't need any extra work.
Yeah. There's nothing more that needs to
landscape it, yes.
Yeah.
Cut more holes into everything. No. I'm not going to go that route.
BC Eagle Deb wants to know, how's Dangerous Dave from Camp Patmos doing? Thank you for the
really good. Got summer camp coming up here, and hopefully get to see him really soon as well. That would be great. That would be really, really great to be able to see him. Okay. Any other questions? Did you get... I saw one, something. Can a town be legit without a mayor or a governor? Town incorporates. Town can unincorporate.
Diane, thank you for the 5.
I don't know what you mean by legit without a mayor. I mean, really, we didn't have a mayor. We had an interim mayor for 2 months. Mm-hmm. So
I guess the question is, let's say...
I guess the question is Otter Creek really legit?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Otter Creek has an opportunity and a chance to be legit under the new administration with Therese Granger and Vice Mayor Zim Pageant. And you've got Gail Lamb as well, who's doing an incredible job representing the people. Mm-hmm. I think Otter Creek has that opportunity to be what it can be now. So I think that's the best way to answer the question.
Thank you for the 10. He thanks you for wearing the hat, which was actually gifted by Connor, right?
My little buddy.
Connor?
Yep. My little buddy with the coolest mullet ever. Gina, and what do I got? Bald head.
Gina sent $2, wants to know, will we be able to hop at Christmas for the kids? Thank you for the 2.
We will let you know. So I've got to coordinate with Darlene, and we'll coordinate once we get down there. We plan on going to Florida for the winter in October, and we'll coordinate, we'll plan, we'll share with all of you guys. I'm sure we're going to say, hey, we got a day that we want to set up for Christmas. You know, any volunteers that want to come in, let's set up on this day, and then the actual event. We will give information, but right now it's just too early to give information. So I've ran events most of my life in professional career.
Welcome, Wesley.
So usually my rule of thumb is you start promoting 2 months out from the event. If you promote too much before then, they forget about it. They go, oh, I got time, and they forget about it. If you promote too much after that, they go, oh, I don't have enough time for it. So my general rule of thumb is 2 months.
60 days.
We will talk about it. I promise you we will talk about it. All right. Can the town use eminent domain to take the train depot? To my knowledge, no. But would you want the town that you live in to come in and take anything that you own? And the answer would be no. So there's appropriate ways to do things. If the person who owns it puts it up for sale, then the persons that are interested would buy it. And I would be one that is absolutely interested because I would like to restore it. Mm-hmm. But you also see currently, I'm one of the only people in the town restoring things. You have Brett and Therese who restored an entire campground, made it beautiful. Mm-hmm. You've got us
and they're still working.
Well, and they're still and I'm talking about in the past because they've already done such a good job. Like it's a thriving business mm-hmm. now. So they've restored the campground, and they're always putting in additions, making it better. Yes. But they're at that point where they restored it. It looks good. Mm-hmm. You've got us restoring the schoolhouse right now. You have Scott and Ellie who are at the Woodworks, and they're doing an incredible job over there too. Yes, they are. Really, those are your 3, well, really 2 businesses. I mean, can we be considered a business? I don't know. You can consider us a business because of a dollar sale. Mm-hmm. So, but even though it's just a garage sale.
Wesley, thank you for the 10.
So you probably, those are the 3 people, the 3 couples that are doing the most restoration in the town right now. That's where I would throw all that out and say, boom, there it is. All Are you doing book bags for Egyptian kids again? Yes,
Thank
and
you,
we
Dwayne,
will
for
give
the
you
2.
information when it's time.
Yes.
We're gonna do things very different this time.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that depends on how George corrects her attitudes these next couple days too.
Who, me?
So.
Little old me.
Do the ducks love the new pond?
So we know that Travis is building a pond for them.
Huh?
At the ranch. He's been posting videos
it.
about it. He's been posting videos about it.
Huh?
What you doing, Willis?
What's going on? Did the guy who filmed the Crazy Gate Lady get a new phone? Stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Are you getting more pigs in Florida? If we can catch them, Shane. If we can catch them. Are you going to plant the tree in the bird aviary thing? I want a landscape on the inside, landscape on the outside. So there's a lot of work to be done in the bird aviary. The reason why there's mulch is because that was all clay. That was fill clay that we paid for. And so there is no topsoil in there. It's going to be very difficult to get things to grow. And the birds can't dust in clay.
Yeah.
So we put the mulch in there on purpose.
Oh, they love it. I watched the day that it went up and I spent 2 hours in the bird aviary. The peacocks all took a bird bath in the same, like a dust bath in the same area. Like they all took turns in the same area. And the chickens, all 12 of them just did it together at the same time in one area. It was cute. I took a video of it.
I'm going to take a video of the next town hall meeting. Do you think Russ the Sus will resign? Rachel wants to know.
Let me go find my crystal
ball.
Rachel
wants to know if any of us have a single uncle.
No, I don't. You might.
Not to my knowledge. People also ask if you have a sister. Yes, you have a sister, and I would not.
She's not single.
I would not recommend.
Stop. Just say she's not single.
I would not recommend that to anybody.
So my guess, because my crystal ball is not working right now, is that Russ will not bow down and will not step down because then he loses that shred of pride, that shred of power. He still wants to be in the know, but he still wants to be in the know and he wants to be a part of something, whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever. That's just my take on it. Will Don step down? Maybe. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him
run out. We've seen him run out. He gets so mad because he didn't get his way and he'll run out.
Yeah. I could see Don doing it first over Russ. But
so you think Don is going to step down? Don the Con is going to step down?
If I were to guess between the two of them, who would bow out first? Don, because we watched him do it when the very first
Don has done it before. Mm-hmm. Don has left meetings. He has literally just gotten up and left meetings.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like what was going on.
He has a history of doing that. So
Russell,
what do you think?
I think the ultimate end goal, and I've been clear about this from the very beginning, the ultimate end goal is Russell behind bars. That is my end goal. Now, I don't get to decide whether that happens or not. And my end goal for Mary is Mary behind bars. My end goal for Lynette and Septic Boy now are behind bars. I'm sick and tired of them. We let them go on for months and said nothing, did nothing. All the pathetic lies.
For years.
All the pathetic lies that come out of their mouths and all the drama and the garbage that they create. The goal is all of them behind bars. So I'm going to push and pursue as far as I can to the extent of the law for them to be behind bars. Now, if he's behind bars, can he actually represent himself as a council member? I don't know. Maybe they'll zoom him in like they do Attorney Warren. This is Russ the Sus. I can't hear nothing. There ain't no laptop. There ain't no shout. Maybe they'll zoom him in. But the end all goal, I have been so ridiculously patient with these people for 3 years. For months, I was patient with Lynette and Septic Boy. And then they started attacking her. And for 5 years, I've been patient with her. Like,
thank you, Dee Dee, for the
I've got patience. The patience has gone thin now.
How do you think my patience is?
You don't have it.
People are telling you to calm down in the live chat.
Yeah, because they don't live with you. And they don't know what you do to me on a daily basis.
I have made him a doctor's appointment for his high blood pressure.
My blood pressure is already down.
And I'm going to see if he can get a sleep study done And I'm gonna make sure that
I'd be the hottie on the left.
He gets some type of allergy meds because any of the over-the-counter stuff that I've been giving him is not working, and so his allergies are acting up, and he can't breathe, and his face is swollen, and he is just a mess. A mess. He's got big old nostrils, but he can't breathe through those big old nostrils because his allergies are kicking in.
So end all goal is for these individuals.
Debbie Vaughn said, send them glitter.
To be behind jail.
Thank you, Debbie, for the
jailed. Now, I don't get to decide that. George doesn't get to decide that. The new mayor doesn't get to decide that.
Yeah.
And I've encouraged the new mayor. I think I can publicly share this. I mean, I'll tell anybody. I've encouraged the new mayor to invite the attorney general to come in and do a full audit. Remember, Don wanted bring in a forensic audit.
I find it odd that we haven't had a forensic audit yet.
So I told the new mayor, invite the attorney general in for a full audit. I mean, you've got to. At this point, you have to do something. Because if anything Russell did, I would never want the new administration and the new mayor to be found liable, legally liable for what the previous administration, Russell, did. So if all of a sudden Russell did this in criminal activity, which listen, he's already involved in criminal activity. I made a records request. He did not provide it. That's illegal. It's criminal activity. It's going in civil court. I paid for a meter. That meter is supposed to have a check valve. I did not receive a check valve. Stole my money. That's criminal activity. If she uncovers all of this criminal activity and then doesn't report it, she's liable. She's bound to be liable for all of it. So I just told her, I was like, I think the smartest thing to do is actually invite the attorney general to come in and do a full forensic audit. Just audit everything. Audit absolutely everything. Call the attorney general and say, listen, you already know there's a mess in Otter Creek. Get in here and figure it all out. Because the last thing she needs to be is legally liable for everything that Russell did and Mary.
You know that there was a lot of mistakes and a lot of intentional mistakes.
So, the smartest thing they could ever do is get a full audit and relieve themselves of the liability from the previous administration, particularly Mary and Russ. Thus us. So that's the smartest thing they can do is you have to limit your liability. And what I mean by that is I don't.
Thank you, Van, for the 50.
Thank you so much, Van. I don't do my own taxes. Why don't I do my own taxes? I'm not a certified CPA.
That, and you don't want it to fall back on you.
I transfer all my liability of taxes.
Give it to someone who's a professional.
I give it to a professional and I let them do my taxes.
Give it to the expert.
I don't do my taxes. I transfer liability. Smart people transfer liability. Okay. And so what the new administration really should do is transfer that legal liability over to the attorney general's office and go, just give us a full audit. We're finding enough, let's just give us a full audit. We don't know what you're going to find, but we don't want to be responsible for it. Just that transfers all liability. And then that way you're not involved in criminal activity by knowing and not reporting. So for example, I'll give it another way. So for example, when patients, so when we were at the Meet the Candidates and Lynette hit the baby in the head and Patience saw it, Patience is a certified counselor. Mm-hmm. Patience is a mandatory reporter. Yeah. If she doesn't report that child abuse, it's as if she can be held liable as if she actually abused the child. She cannot not report it. So Patience, my employee, mandatory reporter, watches Lynette hit the baby in the head at a public event with the community right there. Insanity.
I think what happened was the baby bit her and she said, no, don't do that. And then smacked her up the head while she was holding her. Mind you, her back she has no back, no disc, but she's carrying the baby. She can't work, but she's holding carrying the baby,
which is a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
But you find her everywhere.
Sunshine, thank you for the 5.
News channel is going to be in Otter Creek. She's there with Team Otter Creek. All right. Oh, Jeremy and George are making money off of Otter Creek. I'm not the one selling T-shirts.
We're not selling T-shirts like
not selling T-shirts, turd old lady. Why don't you sell some stripping poles, turd old lady? You lied to everybody. Why don't you tell them the truth about yourself? But that being said, we've got, this is just tip of the iceberg. There are so many things we know. I wasn't even going to tell you all that tonight. There are so many things that we know that we've held back and haven't shared with you yet. I can promise you there is going to be plot twist after plot twist after plot twist, especially after this next meeting.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We've had over 11,000 people watch us live, wanting to know what the update of Otter Creek is. Thank you, everyone that sent a super chat this evening, everyone that sent a super sticker donation. Thank you to everyone that became a member this evening or upgraded your membership. Thank you to everyone that sent a membership gift. We will do fan mail next week. Deborah, yes. Richard is definitely questionable. Thank you, Rachel. Jeremy usually likes to end the live off with a song.
Which song should I sing?
Whatever you want.
If you love Otter Creek, type I love Otter Creek.
The saga.
If you love Otter Creek, type I love Otter
Thank
Creek.
you, Jackie, for the 10.
If you love Otter Creek, 'cause it's filled with turtle freaks. If you love Otter Creek, type I love Otter Creek.
Yes, we usually release a new video every day at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we go live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Say goodnight, Jeremy.
Good night, Jeremy.
Not to yourself, to the folks at home. Good night, everyone.